stop scrolling, turn off the TV, put down whatever you are doing because the landscape of professional wrestling just fundamentally fractured. We thought 2026 was going to be a quiet year. We thought the roster wars were over. Well, we were all wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I need you to hit the subscribe button right now. Click the bell. Hype up the video. Remember to leave your comments, your thoughts, your opinions. Because the news I am about to deliver changes absolutely everything for WWE, AEW, and now TNA Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Because we are going to sing to you. We are going to bring it to you. The Ayatollah of rock and roll. The list that just gave you the gist of the situation that is at hand right now and right here. Have no fear. I am here for the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the story is going to unfold really quickly here because at first everyone thought, well, wait a minute, Jericho, he's going back to AEW. He's all elite bound. He's all elite, right? AEW and Y2J, they make the perfect pairing. They make the perfect couple, right? Then on Monday Night Raw, hours before Raw this past week, we heard the rumor, the gossip, the speculation that, well, no, wait a minute. It was confirmed, right? We heard from Raw general manager, he said it himself, break the walls down. We all thought that that meant Jericho's going to return to the WWE, that Jericho's going to make this illustrious comeback to World Wrestling Entertainment, that Jericho was going to appear and show up on Monday Night Raw, and that was going to be the affair. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just when you think you know all the answers, Chris Jericho changes the questions. Oh, he has done that. Little shout out to the late, great Roddy Piper. Hopefully I said that right. But this is one of those things that is going to dominate the headlines. Now, Chris Jericho has done this before, right? Chris Jericho has definitely thrown us off. Chris Jericho has definitely trolled us before. Chris Jericho has made us question what he was going to do, where he was going to go, what contract he was going to sign, and now this, viewers. And we got also a monumental update on Kevin Owens. Yes, we got a monumental update on Kevin Owens during this very video here on the Brash and the Brazen. But first, let's get down into Chris Jericho interested in working with TNA amid WWE return rumors. Chris Jericho might not be headed back to the WWE just yet because according to a new insider update by way of Ringside News, the former AEW World Champion and the first ever undisputed champion in WWE, the only man in history to defeat The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin on the same night at Vengeance 2001 is or could be eyeing a move to TNA Wrestling. On the January 8th, 2026 episode of the Final Bell podcast, it was revealed by Andrew new details about Jericho's next potential destination, revealing that the veteran is very interested in working with TNA. This comes just after WWE sparked speculation with a Jericho-inspired tease before the January 5 episode of Monday Night Raw, which I just covered. Now, there's a lot of smoke. Again, I want to make that very clear. There's a lot of smoke around this from what I was gathering from people who were calling and texting me, from people who would know that Chris Jericho is very interested in working with TNA. It was also suggested that Jericho debuting on TNA's AMC premiere on January the 15th would be a major moment for the company. What a statement it would be if Chris Jericho shows up on the very first episode of TNA on AMC, because this is a big deal. I mean, this is as big as TNA is going to get. Also, ladies and gentlemen, do you think Chris Jericho, and listen, if you're a Jericho fan, if you followed his career, or even if you're not so much into Jericho, where do you think ultimately he should land up? Because first we were thinking, all right, it's either WWE or AEW, but now you throw TNA Wrestling into the mix, and that throws off the entire damn thing. You want to talk about a debacle. What a problem Chris Jericho is facing. I wish I had that problem. Geez, am I going to sign with TNA? Am I going to sign with WWE? Or am I going to go back to AEW? Boy, what a problem to have on your hands. Because now all three promotions want Chris Jericho. They want him locked in and they want him locked up into their company, into their organization. And can you blame them? Well, hell no, you can't blame them. Where do you want to see Jericho go? Out of the three promotions I just mentioned. Or is he going to go to the rejuvenated, rumored, Shane McMahon-inspired WCW? Now that's 4 companies. Don't forget NJPW. Don't forget about ROH. Breaking news as another talent is expected to join the WWE SmackDown roster amidst the WWE roster shakeup, according to the dirt sheets, the websites, and the insiders at this hour. Another major move could be on the horizon for WWE's main roster, and this time it's Lola Vice who is in the spotlight. According to Bodyslam.net, by way of Ringside News, there's growing internal belief within WWE that Lola Vice is next in line for a main roster call-up. The former NXT Women's Breakout Tournament winner has impressed company officials recently, not just in NXT, but also with her standout performance for AAA in Mexico. If plans hold, Vice is reportedly expected to land on the SmackDown brand. WWE officials have reportedly been impressed with Vice's recent performances both in WWE NXT and during her appearances with AAA. The timing for Vice's expected promotion fits with WWE's ongoing strategy to refresh the roster heading into 2026, particularly with SmackDown expanding to 3 hours. Just this week, Javon Evans was officially signed to Monday Night Raw, making it clear that WWE is doubling down on showcasing fresh and new talent, and that is exactly what the WWE needs to do if they want to build that foundation. And the WWE is definitely getting that expression in. Also, Celebrity is set to appear during TNA Impact's AMC debut episode. Yes, you heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. The pro wrestling world has seen a lot of celebrity cameos throughout the history of the business. WWE's Rock and Wrestling Connection brought a ton of attention to the business, which pressed and proved the idea. It was impressive. TNA Wrestling has joined the fun many times, and now that will continue. Perez Hilton is popping in on a wrestling space again. The celebrity gossip expert said that he'll be in Dallas for the premiere on January the 15th. TNA is treating this like a mini event run. Again, Perez Hilton is popping up in the wrestling space again. The timing is obviously smart for TNA because the AMC debut is a big deal for the company, and AMC networks have given their Thursday night to Impact as a weekly 2-hour block, and TNA has been stacking the premiere with major matches to make noise right away. And again, now you can just about add Chris Jericho's name to that, perhaps, potentially, and maybe, according to those in the know. Also, breaking news on the great, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, John Cena. John Cena responds to Liv Morgan's confessions about kicking him low during his retirement run just a couple of months ago. Also, WWE Partnership is being credited for helping land the AMC deal for TNA. Yeah, now imagine if the WWE just dropped out of nowhere and then they lost their deal. You know, here's the thing about TNA. They were the little engine that could. How many years did people predict? How many people for how many years said, this is the end. TNA is dead. TNA won't make it. TNA won't survive. TNA won't thrive. TNA won't make it to 2021. They will make it to 2022. Well, here we are in 2026, and they are still here. They have proved the doubters wrong. And hell, they may be positioning themselves as the number 2 promotion, and AEW could end up being the number 3 promotion if they don't watch out, if they don't look out. Hey, I'm just stating my thoughts, my comments, my opinions. But remember, this show is about you. You guys are the drivers behind this very show. But let's get into Kevin Owens. Now, I talked about it earlier, but we have a major update. And again, this is why we do multiple videos a day to give you the hottest, the latest, the greatest, the newest, the most definitive, the most defiant. Ladies and gentlemen, according to backstage sources close to this situation, this wasn't about money. Tony Khan reportedly matched TNA's offer financially. This was about respect and creative freedom. The word coming out of the AEW locker room for months now is that Jericho has left marginalized. With the influx of new talent like Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada taking the top spots over the last 2 years, Jericho is being pushed further and further down the card. The learning tree gimmick, that was reportedly Jericho trying to make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, because creative had nothing else for him. Enter TNA Wrestling. Sources indicate that TNA management didn't just offer Jericho a contract, they offered him the keys to the kingdom. We are talking about a main event push, significant creative input on his own storylines, and the chance to be the undeniable face of the company one last time. For a guy like Chris Jericho, whose ego is as legendary as his career, that offer was too good to refuse. He doesn't want to be a veteran, and he doesn't want to just be a veteran hand in AEW, putting over the young guys. He wants to be the guy. TNA is given that platform. This is a massive coup for TNA. And in 2026, where we are right now, they have just proven that they are players again. The question now becomes, how does AEW respond? Viewers, how do they respond? And if Chris Jericho leaving AEW is a shock, Kevin Owens potentially leaving WWE is a disaster waiting to happen for the game Triple H. We have been covering the smoke around Kevin Owens for weeks on this channel. Today, we are seeing the fire. Following the Chris Jericho announcement, credible rumors have surfaced indicating that Kevin Owens has mentally checked out of WWE. Again, this is a rumor and gossip, not confirmed. His contract It's coming up faster than people realize. The communication between KO, Kevin Owens, and WWE Creative has reportedly hit an all-time low. Think about it. When was the last time Kevin Owens felt important on Raw or SmackDown? When was the last time he won a world title? When is the last time Kevin Owens was, well, the big deal? He went from main eventing WrestleMania against Stone Cold Steve Austin to feuding in the mid-card and being the curtain jerker with guys who weren't even on the main roster 2 years ago. Backstage chatter suggests that KO is furious with his booking. He feels he's in the prime of his career, doing some of his best character work of his life, and he's being used to fill time. Now, we all understand that Kevin Owens went down with an injury, a very significant neck injury. We all know that Kevin Owens went down with surgery. But is Kevin Owens going to be coming back? Whoa, guys, wait a minute. We got breaking news. We got breaking news again. This is why we do multiple videos a day. That's why it's so important to click the bell, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Guys, this is breaking news just coming in as I'm doing the video. I'm sorry I had to go off of that, but guys, we got breaking, stunning news. Listen to this one. AEW could lose HBO Max as Netflix WBD deal puts streaming future in doubt. Let me say that again. And this is just coming in right now, fresh and true for all of you. AEW could lose HBO Max as Netflix WBD deal puts streaming future in doubt. That is massive. That is major. Boy, they really could use Kevin Owens right now. Boy, could AEW use really someone that likes the levels, a superstar, a name of Kevin Owens. Your thoughts, your comments, your opinions on all of that. Wow. Now, what do you think about that, guys? AEW, boy, they're in trouble out of nowhere. Seemingly, AEW thought they were riding a wave of momentum. AEW thought they were on fire. Well, things just changed for them very drastically. Do I hope, do I wish, do I pray this on them? No, I don't, okay? I want our company, I want an organization, a wrestling Inc. I want some kind of other wrestling company to challenge, to breathe down the WWE's back, to grab WWE by the throat and say, we're challenging you. We're going to challenge you just as much as WCW did. We're going to challenge you mentally, physically. We're going to developmentally, ratings, merch, TV time, pay-per-views, PLEs. We're going to challenge you, but nobody has been able to challenge the WWE yet like WCW did during the 90s, during the height of professional wrestling. Now, we talked in my previous video about the very real rumors that Shane McMahon is making a play to buy into or even take over and bring back WCW to replace NXT. If Shane O'Mac is about to gain power and bring back WCW as a third brand, where is the first thing? What is the first thing he needs? He needs a statement signing. He needs his own Scott Hall moment, Razor Ramon. If I'm Shane McMahon and I see Kevin Owens unhappy in WWE, I am backing up the Brinks truck to KO's house. Chris Jericho is tearing it up on TNA on Thursdays, and then on Wednesday nights, Dynamite under new leadership from Shane McMahon. Kevin Owens walks out and declares war on WWE. Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions. Wow. Guys, as I said, the magnitude of this is off the damn chain. Plenty more to come. Whether you're on a plane, Kurt Cobain, you can't complain. Plenty more to come from Sean's View Entertainment, because we know that you guys are the bread and butter, you guys are the backbone, you guys are the pulse of what I do, because I believe in my viewers, my fans, and my subscribers, because you are the ones that bring me to the dance. No romance. No homo. Listen, it doesn't matter if you're high, gay, bi, single, in a relationship. It doesn't matter if you're going through a tough time, a rough time, a good time, a bad time, a tumultuous time. As long as you're here with me all the time, through the good, the bad, the indifferent, that's all that matters to the brash and brains, because we're going to always brew it up to all of you. Subscribe with plenty more to come.